Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to Moscow. I'm actually not that far from the center of Moscow today. I'm 7 kilometers from Red Square, and have a look behind me. There's actually a meat processing plant here in the city. What I'm here to see is actually their shop, or their factory shop. We're going to go check it out together. The shop we're going to go have a look around is part of a very large factory here called the Mikoyanovsky Meat-Processing Plant. It's quite a mouthful to try to explain it. And this is one of the entrances. It's actually a very large territory, and attached to the factory is quite simply translated into English as shop, or magazine is the way it is said in Russian. And it's actually very close to a very busy main road here. And this is Volgogradsky Prospect, and this is one of the main roads that lead in and out of Moscow. You can see quite a mixture of buildings here as well, and some very modern new apartment buildings, some more classic older ones, some from the 90s. And it's just so interesting just to see the contrast as I just walk in a very quick circle and have a look at this much older building and how beautiful the architecture is when you compare it to some of the older buildings. And this is actually a Saturday lunchtime that I'm here, so I'm pretty sure the factory is working 24 hours a day. But on this main road part you don't see too many people. A lot of people would live locally that would come shopping here. A lot of people would come from a metro station. The nearest metro station is about a 5-minute walk away, Volgogradsky Prospect, just on the other side of the highway right there. Let's head on in and check out this shop. The shop is open every day from 8:30 till 8:30, which is probably not so typical, but I think it doesn't need very big trading hours. A lot of people would know when to come. And then walking on inside, there is quite a lot of people in here. Now, of course, this is a non-working day for a lot of people in Russia, so a lot of people would be coming shopping today to do their buying for the weekend. And what we'll do, we'll have a slow walk around and try to take in everything they have for sale. See if we can find some bargains, and maybe I can find something to take home as well. I actually want to thank a channel subscriber who posted in the comments from my previous video about this factory shop. Having lived here so many years, I'm discovering so many new places in the last 7 days. And if you are from Russia or Moscow and you know of places like this which would make unique videos, please let me know. And I think based on the previous videos' popularity, I think they're interesting for everybody, and for me to show you what's available here in Russia and what most typical Russians come shopping for. One thing I'll say walking right in the shop is, comparing it to the previous factory shop that I came to, this place is much more modern and refreshed. It has really interesting LED lights on the ceiling, and everything has the ticketing nice and clear, and there is a sense of order to the place. The other factory shop I went to is much simpler, more of a Soviet feel when you walked around in there. And I think, of course, in Russia a lot of people know these brands very well. All of these different meat processing plants sell all of their products beyond their own factory shop. They sell them in all of the major Russian supermarkets and hypermarkets, and a lot of people will come to these places because of the fact that they have cheaper prices than the mainstream supermarket. And also you'll get some extra products here that aren't in the normal corner supermarket. And actually, even if you look out the window from here, where I started the video from, I can see 3 different supermarkets within a few minutes walk of this place. And then coming in here, obviously this is essentially a butcher's shop, but it's designed and set up as a factory shop from the plant itself, which is attached to the building, or I think this shop is attached to the plant. There is quite a queue at the register to get on out of here. I think every time I come to these shops, it's either crowded or it's empty, and it's very hard to find that middle ground. We will have a look at some of these things when it's not so full. I've come back outside the other exit, and of course the cars never stop running on the road behind me. But this is the actual plant itself. You can see incredibly large buildings, and it's a very large territory. This is the parking also for the shop. So where I came in was the actual entrance, but everybody parks over here. And it's really hard to see, but on top of the building in the distance, there's another building attached on top of it. And I wonder if that's the director or plant owner. I wonder if that's his office up there, because it's really quite a grand spot and glass windows looking over the whole district. What I'll do as I'm walking around is I'll point out some of the prices, and what I'll do is, where I pointed out in rubles, the easiest way to work out the currency into US dollars is right now it's exactly 100 rubles to 1 US dollar. There is also a little shop off to the side here with some bakery items. How easily I'm distracted by cookies and cakes, and you can buy them by weight. This is a very normal way to shop for them in Russia. However many grams that you want. You can also ask them to put them into bigger or smaller packaging for you. And there's also some cheese as well. So I think over time this shop has expanded a little bit from just purely the meat section, and they're adding other parts to it because people come here and they know the products. There is a really interesting cola in the fridge called Sunbell Cola. And that red color is always so classic looking. And even the tonic over here on the left looks a little bit like Schweppes. So let's see what we can find and have a walk around. Now the problem I always get, some people don't like me filming and showing them, but it's really not a problem. So the plant itself concentrates only on pork. They do also have chicken and turkey and some beef, and they come from other plants around Russia. And what they do at this plant specifically is pork though. The company also has a small amount of canned meats, and although in Russia they are a little bit popular, but it really isn't a thing that my wife and I buy. We much prefer to buy fresh meats rather than canned meats. So the actual company itself is really interesting because it's the oldest meat processing plant in Moscow, and it dates back 220 years, which is just incredible that companies can last that long and can be still in business to this day. And of course they focus on certain products only, and you can see here all the different types of salamis or sausages. I was coming here today with my wife, and she went off in another direction to visit her friend, and I was explaining to her the translation of the company's history. And when it translates from English to Russian and back again, it says that they produce sausages, sausages and sausages, which, depending on where you live around the world, these would be salamis, would be kalbasa, would be also Sometimes they call them Polish sausages. Somebody posted in a comment of the last video too about them. And there are so many different types and versions that they produce. And they're all sausages basically in some form. Now the pricing is quite similar to how we saw it in the last video. So a lot of it's either individually priced or they have the price per kilo, and then what the weight of a certain item is would then create a lower price. Now for me that gets a little confusing, but I think everyone who shops here figures it out very quickly. So you'll see things like these different salamis for 600 rubles, 500 rubles. There's one here for 400 rubles. And these are very big pieces. You're looking at half a kilo or 1 kilo pieces. So you're getting a lot for your money. Now there is quite a lot of different smaller package ones, starting at 35 rubles. So just move the decimal place over. So 30 rubles would be 30 cents. 1,000 rubles would be $10. I'm always curious when I come to places like this what other people are shopping for, because I'm sure people have favorite items. You can see here some of the different pork sausages or hams, but they're infused with different ingredients. So $1, $1.50, and what you do, you just slice these up, put them on the table, and for breakfast sometimes, for lunch, very easy snacks. If you have friends over, makes a nice easy table to put together. So all of these smaller slice packaging, $1, $2. Of course, sausages, they've got the very big packs there for $4. So there is, for me, there is too many choices, and it confuses me a little. If my wife was to walk in here, she'd know instantly what she wants and would find it and go right to the register quickly. They do have some other products here as well. Actually, mostly the sauces for marinating as well. They've even got some frozen meats. I wonder how popular these are. I really don't think they're nearly as popular because there is so much fresh food that you wouldn't really need frozen items. You can, however, get some frozen pancakes or bilini. This is pilmeni, which is dumplings with meats inside. So you're looking at around about $4 a kilo, $5 a kilo. Really depends on the ingredient, and that's what varies the price a little bit. I really do want to be polite to the shoppers in here because they're just coming about and doing their daily shopping. Then I walk in holding a camera and filming, and I don't want to be rude to anybody. Some people don't like to be on camera. Some people are wondering what the heck I'm doing, which of course it would seem strange walking in a shop around the corner from where they live. There is quite a variety of things. So all of the different meats are very much butcher style that you see over here. So they've got the ladies who will cut the pieces for you and then weigh them. And they also prepare certain pre-packed items as well, which is a nice way to do shopping. The one difference, of course, being that this is a factory shop, is the packaging won't be what you would see in the normal supermarket, where they'd have very specific labels or branding or colored packaging, if you like. So these are packaged in the factory right behind the walls of the shop, and then there'll be a fairly generic label on which has the ingredients, packaging date, best before, and things like that. So there is lots of different cuts of pork. So you're looking at about $4 a kilo, $5 a kilo, here $3 a kilo. So I think, of course, a lot of people are going to say this is Russia, things are cheaper, The average salaries are less. I completely get that. However, people's salaries are very varied in Russia. There is really no way to say what a minimum wage is or someone's maximum wage. I like to just come to a shop on its merits, figure out the prices, and you're good. So lots of different cuts of pork here, and different cuts from different parts of the animal. They're quite literal with the signage. $3 or $4 a kilo, up to $6 depending on the type. There's some ribs back there. I really want to try these in my air fryer at home. I'm sure I can master doing ribs. I think you just put it in there and press the start button and you're good. There's also some beef mince, $4.50 a kilo. Again, I'm quoting this in dollars because it's easier for a lot of people around the world. And the beef, you're paying $10 a kilo for, this would be roasting beef. It's not really steak beef. You can make very nice soups or some goulash or something like that. And again, you can see lots of people coming and going. Now, I'm of course only here for 1 hour on a Saturday lunchtime, but this is open 7 days a week, morning till night, so people who do work would come at different times, and I'm here when I get here. So lots of different hams and smoked meats as well. So this is again by kilo weight, but then they've got different cuts and different sizes. And then with these larger sticks right here, you can just get them to slice off a few hundred grams if you like. You're not required to buy the whole package. And instantly when I come over here, the crowds build up. There must be certain items that everybody loves from this little corner compared to some of the other spots. I want to try to get in and have a look, but it's a little bit difficult. It would be very interesting to know all the people that we see as I'm walking around, if they're locals from the immediate area and they've just walked here from one of the buildings, or as we saw the cars in the car park, people come here specially to this particular shop because they like and love the quality of their meats. That would be something really interesting for me. I know where I went to that last place, it was really out the way, and there was a bus stop that dropped you off there, and people definitely didn't walk there from where they live. All these different smoked meats, $5 a kilo, $7 a kilo. Now things like these larger pieces, you're not going to be buying them necessarily for just yourself. You'll buy just a few hundred grams. And all the different salamis back there. It's really fun to see people's urgency buying something on a Saturday like this. As I was walking around, I noticed a interesting dark packaged meat right here, and it's right about 550 rubles a kilo, but these pieces are quite a bit smaller. And when I did the translation right here, I hope it's focusing okay, it's called a Hotny Riyad limited edition, and it says there that it's produced in a special workshop using manual labor, limited to only a few hundred pieces per day, which is super interesting. I probably have to buy one of these just for the fact that it's limited edition, and it says it's brisket with juniper berries. So who needs to drink gin when you can get juniper infused hams? The one thing that I'm always amazed about, no matter if I come to this type of shop or a traditional supermarket, is the amount of choices. And it'll be very easy for a company just to make 4 or 5 different types of meats, and then you come to one of the factory stores like this and they've got a few hundred different cuts, and I think it would almost be difficult to decide sometimes which one you like. This is that same Kremlin cut meat right here. This is what caught my attention when I first walked in. And it actually says on the label that it's limited to 100 pieces per day. So they perhaps just put them out once per day. They refill it, I'm sure. You know, there's 5 or 10 in here, and that's it. That's really interesting for me, something that's limited edition. They've also got quite a few of the different larger salami pieces cut here into small packaging, and most of them are right about 100 rubles, depending on the different type. So you just have to buy what size you really want. There's some sausages over here as well. And a lot of people aren't necessarily wanting huge bags of something. They only want a few hundred grams of something. They'll very typically shop in Russia just for today or tomorrow. And this is very normal. People aren't coming to do weekly shopping or fortnightly shopping. And people will visit 5 or 6 different shops to do all of their shopping, particularly in these sorts of shops like this where they're specific to certain items. They have more of the pork ribs over here in a separate fridge. So these ones are actually pre-packed, but they're in 2 kilo or 4 kilo bulk packs. So $2.60 a kilo, and then there's a $4 a kilo one, and that just depends on the cut of the ribs and how they're trimmed and finished. So if you want them with more or less fat, $2.50 a kilo for ribs. I think that's very cheap. Please let me know in the comments how these prices compare. Now, I'm not factoring anything to do with where you're from, where I'm from, anything like that. I'm just purely going by what you would pay when you walk in a shop. And that's the price, is leg ham, $5 a kilo, for instance. You can get these nice pieces here. I know back in Australia, my mum would buy this sort of thing for Christmas and Easter, and then slice off some ham and have on the table. They've got an area here with different turkey items, and I'm so used to seeing turkey legs or these big drumsticks, these very large ones. But did you know you can get turkey wings? Has anybody had them somewhere else in the world? I understand chicken wings, but turkey wings. There's also the different breast pieces as well. But you're paying around about 300 to 400 rubles a kilo, depending on the different cut that you want. And then turkey wings, wow. Let's see if I can get a good look at some of the clearance items in the trolleys right here. Now, the previous shop that I went to in the other video, the whole store was set up this way, and the prices will change depending on the best before or the use by date, if there's such a thing, on these vacuum sealed items. So where I noticed in the other shop, people were looking very carefully at the dates. I think the fact that most of this shop has traditional counters, and then they just have a few of their discount items by the door. So you can get some packaged salami, these little easy grab and go ones. This is 35 cents. You can get some nice doctor sausage here. This is very famous in Russia. This is $2 a kilo. And then these are different weights depending on what size you want. So this one is 750 grams. And you've got some salami pieces. So this is $4 a kilo, but these packs are only 200 grams. So you're paying only about $1 or so. Some more different versions of these bologna pieces. In Russia, doctor sausage. Does the doctor tell us we should eat it? This is $1.50 a kilo. Actually, these are the big bolognas. So I think a lot of people buy these maybe for pet meat. They're definitely for human consumption as well. $1.20 a kilo. But these are 2 kilo blocks. And some more salami. Not too sure what this one is. Maybe it's a different version. There's so many things that I see that I don't recognize from my corner shop. I think these factory shops definitely have extra items. Some very classic item sausages. So $1.20. And then some ham hock pieces. This is $4 a kilo. So this one is not quite a kilo in weight. So the price is about right. I think this is very normal. This bologna. So a lot of people will use Dr. sausage in Olivia salad or winter salad. You dice it up, mix it in with the other ingredients, and the classic salami strips or pepperoni strips, 90 cents. Not too sure. I think these might be flavored ones. This one here with the chilies on the side. I'm really not into that, I don't think. All I have to do is decide on what I want to take home. Our fridge is still full from my previous shopping experience. And then there will be a video coming up on the channel soon of a food and beverage expo, which is the largest one in Russia that I attended. And a lot of the booths there recognized me from my channel and brought me some gifts to take home to my wife. So our fridge is stocked at the moment with lots of different hams and meats and snacks. So I'm gonna have to find something though. My main question to everybody watching is, what would you choose? Do you have a favorite type of ham or meat? Now, of course, perhaps there's some vegetarians watching, and this maybe isn't quite the video for you to watch, but is there a certain type of smoked meat that you like? Because in this place, it's very hard to walk in and walk out in a few minutes, purely because of the amount of choices that you have to pick from. And it's like we're kids in candy stores. And the same thing I noticed on this shop as in the other video, there is lots of men here shopping, of course ladies as well. But if we come here around about lunchtime, I think we'll end up buying more than we wanted because we're hungry and we want to just rip something open and eat it now. So I've actually managed to find the manager of the shop here. This is Anastasia. Now this wasn't planned, and we didn't plan whatever we're going to ask and talk about now. Now Anastasia is a bit worried your English is not so good.
Not so good, my English.
Now, I came to your shop today. Completely, we didn't arrange anything, I just turned up.
Thank you, thank you. Hello everyone. We're waiting for you in our store. And because subscribe to the channel Traveling with
Russell.
Russell, and maybe our channel,
I'll put a link in the description of the video.
Our channel, I show you.
Oh, okay. No worries, I'll put a link so people can click over it and they can dribble and drool over the pictures that you're posting.
Thank you, thank you. And thank you, Russell, for your visit.
And this place has been here for 200 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You're not 200 years old though, I think you're very young. You must have started when you were a very small girl, I think. And
no, not small girl.
But I think you enjoy working here. I think so.
I think so too.
Even though it's Saturday today, you could be out shopping, you could be in the park.
And out and work on Saturday.
Of course, this is probably the busiest day, I think, for everybody coming shopping. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And if you want to see Anastasia in the channel more, let me know in the comments.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Anastasia was so nice. I met her when I first walked in and I just let her know I was going to make a video here just to be polite to everybody, and she agreed to come on the camera for a few minutes, and she's already on the register because just while we were talking the line got busy again. Seems to come in waves here. But how many shop managers would you see working the register in a supermarket? I think it's very rare that that happens, but they open and close them as quick as the line goes away. And I really want to thank Anastasia for being on the video. I literally clipped the microphone on her and she was standing and chatting away, so that was so nice. As I head on out of the shop and say goodbye to Anastasia, it was so fun to have a chat with her and to actually understand about the shop and the demographics of people who come shopping here. And I really hope you found this interesting. I really would love to visit more of these shops if I can find them. Again, this was recommended to me by a subscriber of the channel. I did manage to get a couple of things. My wife will be super happy. Maybe not the fact there's more things in the fridge, but it was really interesting to come here. I know this area, and it's just so surprising that I've been to this area of Moscow before, and I didn't even know this shop was here. A lot of the places like this just have the word shop on the door and don't really specify what it is. Now, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. I will link the location of this place in the description. I'll also put the link to the Telegram channel that Anastasia has for this shop. She posts mostly the trading hours and the daily and weekly specials. So if you want to follow that, you're more than welcome to. Of course, I have a Telegram channel as well, and I post a lot of my daily content from when I travel around Moscow. Okay, if you liked it, thumbs up, post a comment. I think I'm rambling on now. If you got to the end of the video, I'm sorry. If you want to follow my Telegram, it's right here. And if you want to see another video on the channel, click this link and keep traveling with Russell. Okay, everybody, I'm off on another adventure. Bye.